Hi, hello. I'm Max Hafler, and this is Declan Drowan. And we are Chekhov Training and Performance Ireland. We thought we might make a short film on Chekhov's 4 qualities of movement, which are floating, moulding, flying, and radiating. They actually correspond to the elements water, earth, air, and fire. So, what can learning these qualities actually do for you? They help you understand your body and bring your attention to it. And because Chekhov work is psychophysical, these qualities of movement also might suggest to you what your character is like, what their energy is like, and how they might behave in the world of the play. They also give you a way to enliven the text through your voice and feeling. And in addition, finally, it's a great vocabulary for any ensemble movement if you're working in a group. So learning these 4 qualities actually gives you rather a lot. So now I'm going to hand it over to Declan, and he's going to work with 2 of the qualities.
Okay, so we're going to begin with the quality of floating. And what does that mean exactly? If we just think of the first things that occur when we say the word floating: watery, indeterminate, without agency, being moved by something externally, to go with the flow. It's not about me is a line I often use when I work with this quality. It's hard to make a plan when one is floating, but first of all, we have to place all of this in the body. So Max, as you see, is standing in the middle of his workspace, and I'm just going to remind us of 2 things as we commence this. I will ask you to focus on your feet and your connection with the floor. And I will ask you consciously with every breath to soften the body, particularly to soften and unlock the knees so that the lower body is engaged. And this work really only resonates with us and radiates from within us if we work with a feeling of lightness and ease. The idea of floating is that one is being moved externally. First of all, perhaps we feel a feeling of being lifted by the waters around us, a feeling of being buoyant and light, and that our movement is outwards. And as in our previous work, perhaps we see what happens in this lightness and ease as a sense of surrender and of being tilted forward by the waters. I'm going to work with the water specifically here. And there's no anxiety or worry about this lack of agency. In a way, we can enjoy and relish that it's not about me. You could actually try saying, it's not about me.
It's not about me.
And one can be, these directions that are possible for you here, these 6 directions, one can float to the left, to the right, forward, back, up and down. Almost like one is a piece of intelligent seaweed, which has been pulled out of the floor of the ocean and can be propelled or moved in the space, and always ensuring that the lower body is engaged. It's hard to commit. Perhaps you make a plan to go to some specific part of the room. And on your journey there, a current pushes you in the other direction. So it's very hard to make a plan when one is without agency. So perhaps you try to move towards us, and that is redirected for you. But again, we don't think of this as something to provoke. There's a joyfulness, perhaps there's a lightness in this. There's a sense of surrender in floating, a sense of being tethered, untethered, or free from the plan, the restrictive, heavy plan. And perhaps we give you just a line or a fragment of text to speak as you do this. And you say, perhaps it's not about me. Try saying it's not about me.
It's not about me.
and find the lightness in it. Find the joy.
It's not about me.
It's not about me, and it's okay.
It's
And
not.
try saying, try saying I want to go there,
Okay.
but you're misdirected when you say I want to go there.
I want to go there.
Try lines like, in sooth, I know not why I am so sad. Try that.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
Okay, so it gives us a wonderful polarity, the possibility of floating. Okay, I'm going to bring you back to center and ask you to find your stability again.
It's just a lovely open feeling.
Hmm.
And I think that was very interesting. The idea that you take a line like, in sooth, I know not why I'm so sad, and you give that a lightness, because you suddenly realize, and this is something I think that the qualities do really well. They start to give you all these options that you would never kind of necessarily have thought of.
Stay with that line perhaps when we make the transition into the next quality of movement. And again, connect with the floor. Be aware of the vertical line through your body, the golden thread from your head up through the ceiling into the cosmos, and the connection through your feet right to the center of the earth, as Graham Dixon calls it, the vertical line. Okay? And remember, we do all of this work. We stimulate number one, the physical body, to wake up number two, the energy body. That's what we're about in all of this work. So we're going to work with the quality of molding. And I'm going to suggest to you that the floor beneath your feet is heavy, wet mud. It has the quality of heavy, wet mud. So that if you take a couple of steps in any direction, you leave an imprint. You leave an imprint on the earth you walk on. You leave a mark. The weightiness of your body literally leaves an impression. So you can see your impact on the world as you move through it. And again, there are 6 directions you can explore this in. And as you walk through the heavy mud, you realize that it's rising. It's rising. And your progress is impeded by the resistance. This is the highest degree of resistance is in this quality of mud. Be mindful to keep the body in ease. There's a tendency sometimes for people to tense up when they're pushing against resistance, but there is strength there, but it's easeful strength. And also to by keeping the knees unlocked, that the lower body is always active in this exercise. The mud has risen at this point up to your knees. Okay? And I'd also always remind students not to turn inward at this point with any quality of suffering. It's not about that. It's not personal. So there's a slowness and a weightiness. And the line I often use for students to help make a connection with this is, I don't understand. Maybe work with the line for a few moments, I don't understand, as you work in this world of molding and mud.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
And you can move with the mud against your back. What is the sensation to move back into mud? So we activate all of that, the riches of the back space as well.
I don't understand.
And maybe the not understanding is okay. Maybe it's not dark, or it's okay to not understand. It's like, yeah, they're talking and talking, but I don't get it.
I don't understand.
Okay, watch the resistance and watch the tension in the body.
I don't understand.
Okay. And perhaps switch to the line we used earlier. In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. The mud's up to your neck now. You can turn in it. You need to push against it. It's an effort to move, but watch for resistance.
Sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
It's over your head now, but you have the superpower of being able to breathe in this mud world. You're a creature of this mud world. It's your norm. It's how it is. Could you be happy or optimistic in the mud world? This is how it is. This is my everyday. Yeah. And it's okay to not understand. Tell us again.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
That's a really interesting quality in your voice. Continue to work. Continue to work with the body. The 6 possible directions you can mold in. Take a handful of mud in your hands for a moment and compress it and literally mold it. And put your focus away from yourself or whatever's stirring in you in terms of feeling or emotion, and put it into the action of the clay in your hands and speak again.
I don't understand.
Okay. So it becomes more specific now.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. In sooth,
Put the mud in your eyes and come towards the monitor.
in sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
Try to find the polarity of happiness in this world rather than, yeah. It's sleepy, isn't it? It's heavy and it's sleepy. I can see that.
Sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
Okay, and I'll ask you to go back to your center space again. Go back to the vertical line. Breathe and let it slip away. Thank you.
Thank you. I think something that kind of occurs to me when I was doing that, and the way you were leading me through it, it is very, very hard not to apply physical tension, because if there is a resistance, there is physical tension.
There's a tendency to turn psychologically dark and turn inwards, which is why I kept pushing you to the polarity.
Well, because that's what it offers you in the immediate. Once you start kind of going away from that, and it becomes kind of more subtle and more interesting, I suppose.
And more applicable in terms of actually playing a character. I suppose it's more archetypal if you stay with that heavy interior quality.
And of course, one of the things that's very good about that is that it helps you find that darkness without applying it to your everyday life or something like that. If you like. So we're going to look at radiating, which is fire. And we're going to look at flying, which is air. And we're going to access these movements in a slight, or certainly the fire, in a slightly different way. So we're going to work from the inside out. So what I'd like you to do is use an image for this. So I want you to imagine that in your chest, you have a human torch. So think of yourself as some kind of, maybe a superhero. And your whole body is full of this fire. So it's coming out of your face, out of your fingers, and really let your body go with it. How is it making your body feel? Really play with that. Play with how it's making you move.
I'm illuminating the room.
Yeah, okay.
I'm lighting up the room. I can feel it on my breath. It's coming out especially in my breath.
Imagine it's coming out of your back as well. So it's like you are the human torch.
There are flames.
Good. Let it play with tempo as well. Yeah, so really enjoy that. And it's in your legs as well. It's in your lower body. Keep your lower body active. And then turn it up even more. Turn it up. And I want you to try applying a sound. And I want you to turn it up even a little bit more. And now try a line like, in sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
Good, and play with that a little bit more.
Wearies me, you say it wearies you. In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me, you say it wearies you.
Change the tempo.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me, you say it wearies you. In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me, you say it wearies you.
Just stand still, let that melt away. And we'll just try another image. So another fire image, but something different. Warm, cozy fire. And let's keep it in the same place that it's housed here. You feel it in your whole body.
The tempo feels very different. It's domestic, feels domestic and smaller and reliable. It feels like something I can rely on.
Good. Really let it go in your body more.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me, you say, it wearies you. In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me, you say it wearies you.
And just add a
sooth.
smile. Add a smile.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me. You say it wearies you.
Beautiful, very nice.
I could feel it move from this center into the center of will because of the kind of fire it was, like a domestic hearth fire. It didn't belong here, so it, of its own volition, moved downwards.
I felt like one of those, you became to me like one of those kind Dickensian characters. You know, they're those kind of, they're poor, but they're good.
That's my life.
I want you to use whatever you feel is useful. So it might be that you want to feel that you're weightless. Or you might use an image of a bird, but if you do, you're not a bird.
The minute you said, I want you to choose something, something happened.
Right.
There's the image of vast, invisible wings, which can't be seen by anybody else, but are here attached to me. And when I turn, I can feel the substance of them.
You know, it's not like you are using your imagination to become a bird. There is, and that's true of all of this work. You're taking what is important for the imagination, for your creativity. Okay, away you go.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me. You say it wearies you. In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. It wearies me. You say it wearies you.
Lovely. And just let that go. Bring your arms down. and just breathe in and just let it go. Ooh.
So now a little time for flyback. We're going to look at those 4 qualities again and think a little bit about practical application in your work. Obviously, the scale we've worked with there is enormous. And yes, we must make this discovery through the whole body, but very often we must veil the enormity of what's going on for the camera or for the actor in a naturalistic scene. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Max we're going to fly back over the 4 qualities of movement in a way, I hesitate to say in miniature because we're still feeling it fully, but the idea is that we can activate them now very simply because we know what they are. So I'll ask Max perhaps to start molding with just his left hand off camera and let the heaviness and the knowledge and the experience of molding flood through your body. So the mud's in your throat, it's behind your eyes. But you don't want the person you're speaking to particularly be aware of this. And there can be lightness in it too. And you can tell me anything you want. You can tell me about being sad. You can tell me you don't understand any of the lines from earlier.
I don't understand.
Go on to the Shakespeare. In sooth,
I know not why I am so sad.
and again, if you feel losing contact with it, just go back to that left hand and squeeze that mud and feel the intelligence of the mud course through your body. Speak again.
Sooth, I am not why I am so sad. In sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
Okay, let that go. Shake that off just wait for a moment. Imagine your right hand is in a basin of water. And while you're talking and looking around you and being in the world, you can experience something of the lightness and floating and the play of the water between your fingers and the ease and the lightness. Yeah, there it is, right away. Tell me the same lines.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
Yeah, and you don't care either, do you? Let's try it again.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
Let the water come through your fingers up into your brain cavity and behind your eyes.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
Yeah, and you've had a few glasses of wine too, haven't you? Beautiful. Let it slip away. That's gorgeous. So for flying, the one you demonstrated with me, just for a moment, feel activity in your backspace. The activity of those little nubs of wings coming out either side of your spine. And the fluttering. Nobody else can see them. This is your superpower, that you have these vast invisible wings that can lift you. And they just give a tiny flutter, and it's enough to give you some buoyancy and lightness and lift you. And this is your golden secret, this having wings. Speak out of this intelligence. Yeah.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
You're almost leaving the ground. Maybe you are just above the ground, just a few inches.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
Tell it to me as a secret.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
It's beautiful. So this is it. We use all of the material from earlier, but we use it in a very specific way. And the last one, to radiate. Let's for a moment imagine a pulsing, and I'm going to use a different image from you just to show another possibility. Put your hand on your heart and feel a pulsing orange sun, almost like a cartoon sun with a smiling face. An orange sun of beneficence and joy, beating just beneath your sternum. and the heat of it, you can feel it through your clothing. Speak to me.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
And there's a direct link between your pulsing orange sun and your eyes. There are two conduits running from that into your eyes. Put it in your eyes.
In sooth, I know not why I am so sad.
Now do it without the words. You want to convey all of that to me, but you don't need the little boat sitting on the water, which is the words. You don't need the words now. Convey it anyway. There you go. You're entirely and utterly alive. Thank you, Max.
Thank you, Declan.